Graceful Mischief. Chapter 1. Before the Beginning. His smirk was infuriating, and yet so irresistible. The worst part was that he knew it, and yet his stoic demeanor only made that signature smoldering look of his so much more. Well, more. He could have any maiden of the Azure that he had wanted, and yet he had turned it on me. It was then that I should have ran like the hounds of hell were nipping at my heels, demanding my soul with their snapping jaws, pawing at my soul relentlessly. I didn't run. I figured I was better than those before me. I tried to break off any and all feelings that Prince Loki had given me. Only I turned into the biggest fool of all my predecessors. I should have known. I listened to his petty words, his empty promises, his fake kindness and insecurities. How foolish I was to think that he was anything but terrible. He had used me, and then when I had tried to break it off, he told all Father Odin that I had seduced him, and that I had made claims of using his moment of weakness against him to assure my place on the throne, a throne I didn't even want. It was not surprising to me when I was publicly shunned by the community, then stripped of my immortality and powers until I so proved myself to have a heart of innocence and love. Fitting that my title was used against me. Until I so proved that, I was banished from Asgard and of any of the other 7 realms. He did give me one realm where my new life expectancy would permit. I was banished to Midgard, Earth as I now know it. I had appeared somewhere in a small community, naked and powerless. It was then that I ran into Dr. Bruce Banner. He had given me his jacket and offered to get me to where I needed to go. He was a sweet man, and after about 2 days of knowing one another, he offered me to join him on his journey. He had informed me of this Hulk person of his, and seemed surprised that I still wanted to join him. I had no family, no money, no place to stay. I knew not what to do or where the customs of this place were. He showed me everything, and slowly, so slowly, I began to fall for him. He knew, but he didn't seem to be able to return my affection. He made me aware of ways to calm him if his heartbeat ever sped up, ways I would need to use against him so that this other guy wouldn't kill me. I'd only ever had to use them once, and it was that one time that his methods didn't work. It had cost me 3 ribs and my whole left arm. He apologized so much that I thought he might die of apologizing, so I shut him up with a kiss. That was the first night I became aware of Loki still watching me, despite his still being in Asgard. That was the time Thor had been sent to Earth, in the same desert that I had been placed in. Bruce had let me go to Thor, the only man who'd ever even been something of a friend to me, the only man who knew what had really happened between his brother and I. When I met him, he was held in a cell, and Loki was talking with him, unbeknown to the humans. I pretended to be his sister and got him out. He had fallen in love, and I had hoped that he was better romantic than I. His love was real with a human woman. That had been proven when he died trying to protect her. It was then, as I thought Thor dead, that I had screamed at the metal giant, knowing that it was Loki controlling it. It faced me and stayed still as I screamed at it and cried. Thor's friends still hated me, sneered at my attempts even, but I did not care. I was yelling at Loki, because Loki had taken it too far. I don't remember much afterwards. A shot, and possibly the pain in my shoulder rising. I had woken up to Bruce holding me, saying that I had appeared out of nowhere with a burn wound on my shoulder. He took care of me, but I knew that I was alone once more. Thor was not in this world. I could not feel him, and Loki had all but vanished. I no longer felt his eyes on me, his constant gaze, and yet I knew he was still there, watching, waiting. I just knew not why. Since then, Bruce and I have been dodging agents of an organization called Strategic Homeland, Intervention, Enforcement, and Logistics Division, or SHIELD as we surmised. A few others we were avoiding were a man named General Ross and the U.S. military. Bruce was still considered a universal threat, something he continuously apologized for. I made him aware that I had nowhere else to go, and that I had no intention of leaving his side, not even if he asked it of me. It was at that moment that Loki made his observation of me clear. He had sent me a single golden lily, my favorite flower that he had charmed when he was courting me. I represented warning when I understood clearly. He was watching, and he was not done with me yet. The notion both frightened me and stirred something deep within me that yearned for him. I only hoped that it would not consume me. End chapter 1.